Vanakkam, I'm CA Loganaranar. This video is for Chartered Accountants friends regarding the recent Supreme Court case law which came on Friday about the 60 tax audit limits for the members. I'm not going into the merits of the case. Once it's a Supreme Court order, it's going to be Supreme order. So let us see what is the order says. The order says that the member who did more than 60 audits or say 45 audits maybe that time is not guilty of professional misconduct. It also further says ICAI has powers to lay down the limits and the limit of 60 tax audit will apply from 1/4/2024. So this is the order of the Supreme Court. Let's see if I'm not giving my judgment whether the 60 audit limit or prescribing a limit itself is correct or not. One case in Madras High Court, advocate argued for a CA that whether constitution, because the question in this case was the challenge by the CA based on the constitutional validity of restricting a CA in carrying out his professional duty. Can ICAI restrict that thing? Similar lines in Madras High Court, an advocate for a CA argued that whether a doctor can be restricted in performing number of surgeries, say a heart surgeon can perform only so much heart transplant in a month, in a year, such like whether it will be a valid reason, or can constitution gives permission, whether it violates the constitution permission that the individual is permitted to have his way of income legally. That is the case. So this is one argument which was kept in the against for the number of cases where it exceeds 60 audits. One more point, when I was speaking to one of friend in Chennai, he said, sir, I am in Paris corner, Saukarpet. Here most of them are traders. This 2 crores turnover is just like that. Any small trader will easily cross 2 crores turnover. The fees is going to pay me is very less. It is going to be 10,000 or 15,000 only. In that case, because I was asking how we are doing 60 audits, because we are unable to perform 20 or 30 tax audits. I have less than 30 tax audits in a year. So how we are able to perform 60 audits when I am not able to do even 30 audits? When I said, he said, sir, what we are doing is a very small clients. Maximum in 1 day or half a day we will complete the audit. It is only a trading company. There won't be much of a transaction. We will with the help of systems filtering the data, we will easily cover most of the provisions of the tax audit questions is not applicable to him. Only we will be seeing only the TDS angle and the cash payments angle. That's all. More than that, there's not going to be anything. In that case, 60 audits itself is very less for us, sir. If it is increased to 100 tax audit limits, we will be very much happy. On the other hand, these two are cases for in favor of 60 not having a tax audit limit. On the other hand, there are many CS young members who are coming into practice. It's very difficult for them to find tax audits. Clients are not coming in. How do they have a tax audit? How to get for them to tax audit? Because of this restriction enables distribution of audit assignments. There should be some way of distribution of audit assignments. So with these restrictions, somewhere members can get them. I'm not passing any judgment. It is up to the members to decide on each various factors whether this 60 limit is correct or not. I'm prejudiced. I'm not passing any judgment on the thing. This is the opportunities, because distribution of opportunities one thing which is a positive side of having this limit. So many CS can opportunities are it's like a distribution. That's what I can think on the positive aspect. And also the quality of the work. Quality of audit can be maintained with limitations, so that all the aspects are seen when somewhere in the income tax department they say your auditor has not done the work properly. So that becomes a question mark on the profession. So these are the aspects I want to discuss before going to the impact of the case, or the what is the aftermath of this Supreme Court case. Supreme Court, as I said, ICAI has powers going forward. What is case? From 1/4/2024 onwards, 60 tax audit limit will be strictly followed. In the order, Supreme Court has said the respondent, that is ICAI, can decide to increase the limit. Whether in the given circumstance in today's scenario, whether ICAI will increase this 60 tax audit limit, to my understanding, the possibility is very less, because on the other hand, government is by amending the Finance Act up to 10 crores, if you are not having any cash transactions, there's not going to be any tax audit. To this extent, significantly number of tax audits are going to come down. Similarly, up to 2 crores people are going to go for a presumptive taxation. Well profit earning organization, if they are going for a presumptive taxation, then also this number of tax audits in that case, because those tax audits, if not covered, also is not going to be covered under. But whereas 10 crores tax audit, even if they are made under a cash transaction, that will be covered under number count of the limits. But 44 AD profit, or 44 AD non-meeting the criteria of 44 AD and 44 ADA will not cover under the count for the 60 limits. So in that case also, number of audits not going to increase. And given how, I don't know how many auditors are able to do 60 tax audits in a year. So in my opinion, ICAI will not going to increase this 60 audit limit in the near future. That we can understand. Okay, how the 60 tax audit limit, I presume that ICAI are coming up with this figure of 60 tax audit. How do they come about? Maybe they will be getting the number of data limits from the income tax, number of audits in a year, tax audit filed in a year, divided by the for around 1.5 to 2 lakh members are in practice. Real practice, this numbers will definitely come down, because most of them, some of the CO holders will. I know friends who say that we never do tax audits. There are big four partners who never do tax audits. So such that when it comes to, they have some maybe having a method to arrive at this. So that divided by the actual number of members, tentative figure of number of members who are really into tax practice, now divided by the number of audits, giving some room or cushion for some benefits, they will be fixing this 60 limit. That's how they might be arriving at this limit. Okay, this has come up. Then comes the question, because last year one of my friends were asking me, what is the limit for Companies Act? What is the limit for statutory audit? In Companies Act 2000, there is a limit of 20 numbers. But 20 numbers is only for, there's a liberal exemption in that. For 1% company is not covered, small company is not covered, private company up to 100 crores capital not covered. So these exemptions are there. So tentatively this 20 limit will be of public limited companies. Whether ICAI has given any limit restriction on this, that time I said, boss, in 2008 ICAI gave a guidelines. It is limit is 30 audits. So including private limited companies, including small companies, you cannot do more than tax audit as per 2008 guideline. But very well, that guideline will not apply, because it was issued before Companies Act 2013. It is issued in parallel to Companies Act 1956. You can very well take the limit of 20 audits and the conditions prescribed under Companies Act. ICAI guidelines on that date will not apply as on date, is what I said to him. He again consulted with another senior member also in the council. So the council member also concurred the same view to him. So I said he also said the same because the 2008 will not be invoked because that's under Companies Act 1956. After Companies Act 2000, and even after that, because this limit 45 to 60 tax audit limit after that, in same scenario, including technology and other aspects, ICAI should have increased this 30 audit limit, but they not passed any restriction because that restriction has already been in the whereas in Income Tax Act there's no limit of this number of audits. Whereas in the statute gives a limit of number of audits, that alone applies. ICAI limit will not override the statutory audit limits. So as on given situation, maybe in future if ICAI comes up with a limit on companies audit, that also will be binding on the members because of this Supreme Court case. As on date, there is no restriction. It's only the restriction given under the Companies Act 2013. ICAI guidelines of 2008 will not be applicable in my opinion as on date. I think this attempts. Thank you.